If we have people making decisions that are systematically wrong about the world around them, most likely the decisions they make will be based on something different than the facts. And most likely that would actually be a bad thing, right? Because if you want to have effective decisions, you really want to know what it's all about before making the decision. Yeah. Generally, I think we're often driven by our ideology when we make decisions and our gut feeling and what we learned at school. But to make the best decisions, we have to create a habit where we make sure that we double check the facts, because very often we are wrong, but we are unaware. And I think that is probably the biggest hurdle, to get people to become humble and curious about their own misconceptions about the world around them. Most people are actually wrong about a lot of aspects about the society. And I think that is a bit comforting, because it's not a matter about some people being stupid. It's a matter of our brain actually harvesting maybe the wrong fragments and using the wrong information when we make decisions, and fooling ourselves that we are on top, in a way. So I think it's all about finding a way of being nicer to ourselves and others, realizing that the common thing is that we are wrong. The good thing now is that the data exists, so we can quite easily check and correct.
For us as an engineering and design company moving a lot into also sustainable solutions broadly, we can also see that more and more segments and sectors are melting together, and I think the need now for facts have never been as big as right now then, because we need to really make our decisions based on facts. So I can also see in our kind of company that the need to really have a good fact base is important. So it's a very interesting view. But why do you see that spread of misconception?
So I think that one thing is that when we go to school, we learn at one point in time in social sciences what the world is like, just like we learn in languages and maths. The problem is that society will change, and we will, on top of the curriculum, social science we had at school, we will read the news mostly. Most of us will not read too many reports about what's happening in the world. And the problem with the media will be that even if everything we read might be true, we still just will get the extracts that are the unusual things. To understand what's happening in the world and to get the global big picture of trends and proportions, we need to look at the data, the slow trends and the big proportions, because everything we see in the news will be what is unusual. But in our brains, we will collect those materials we see in the news, and that will give us a pretty distorted worldview. I think, of course, we should read the news, but we have to find another way of updating our knowledge when it comes to facts.
So, Anna, what would you say, what is Gapminder all about?
Well, Gapminder is a non-profit trying to promote a fact-based worldview, which is a pretty big task. But what we try to do is to see what people get wrong when it comes to understanding the big global proportions and trends. And then we try to correct it by showing official statistics to show those trends and proportions and have people sort of relearn.
Thanks, Anna, and now let's get started.
Yes.